Is this working? Am I live? I hit the go live button. Okay. Wow, we are streaming because today we are doing we're doing a cupping, and I need to get onto the Discord, so one moment. I think if you want to talk with people, feel free to... What am I trying to say? Feel free to join the Discord channel. I'm going to join that in a second. I don't know how the audio is going to turn out, though. So one sec. Also, June is running a little bit late, so I think we'll be a few minutes before we do this cupping while I get everything organized. So one moment. Okay, let me see. All right. So this should be working. Okay, we're gonna wait a little, guys, for Jiyun because she is... Can I do both? Wow. Okay, so one of these, I'm streaming onto YouTube, and I also have this running on Discord. So for those of you guys who got the kit, we can talk on the Discord. I think that is the easiest way. So do that. And then the rest of you who are not on the Discord call or who are just who just happen to be here, we will just go through all of these things. I wonder if I can pump Discord audio into here. Anyway, I don't think we need to do that, but I'll just ramble. So yeah, that is the plan. We're just basically... So there's a little schedule, but we're going to cup the varietals first, and then we'll cup this, and then I'll probably just have Jiyun lead most of this. I'm kind of just here to stream things. All right, we have people coming through. Oh, and then let me link this in the... Let me link this Discord into here. But these are the things we do for people who do these like interesting releases. Okay. And we can send the VOD to everyone else. I'm going to see if I can pump the Discord audio into there, if that is okay with you guys. But we don't need to like show people in this. I just want to put this into here. All right. Let's give it a few more minutes. You're just here because of FOMO. Nice. Okay, well, I guess while we wait for June, we can go over the coffees. I think that would be fun. So we made 2 sets for the cupping kits, and of course they're all named. They all have really fun names, and they are these I think really represent a lot of kind of the style of releases we have. So obviously we have like really fun washed geishas and whatnot. But we also have a bunch of interesting varietals. So a lot of these coffees we've come across because of either just like producers that we've known of, or like people wanting specific varietals and all of that. So like what's been fun is we did a varietal set here. So for those of you guys who got the varietal set, it comes in this, and then we also have the geisha set as well. So the varietal set has an interest, like a really amazing spread where we wanted to showcase like, I guess, normal varietals up to quote unquote very interesting varietals. So we have like Guatemala Santa Felisa Natural, Laurina. Laurina is really fun. We have Mocha. We have Taiwan Geisha, where this technically could have went into the Geisha set, but most people haven't tasted Taiwanese coffee, so this was a very interesting coffee to put out. We have Heirloom, but grown in Panama from Garrido, Pacamara Natural, and then this was and then these 2, which I think were probably a lot of people's favorites of some of our releases. We had Wash Sidra from Pepe, which was it's just like a great expression of wash coffee, of Sidra. And then we have this, which is probably still my favorite coffee of last year, and arguably, if I taste this again this time, probably this time as well, which is SL34 Natural from Esmeralda. So a good mix of coffees. I would say that a lot of the coffees that we've done on the varietals end definitely skew more towards expressive, I would say. So we get naturals, we have or like really well like expressive wash coffees. We didn't really do that many anaerobics this year. Okay, all right. We have June. I don't know if the audio is going to work, if anyone on the live stream can hear her, but
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you in the Discord call.
Okay, so we are trying to get the computer to allow our video. In the meantime, I think we can set up. Does anyone know how I can go horizontal, not vertical?
Like rotate your phone and then turn off the. What are you doing?
Okay, can you help me, Howie?
What are we doing here?
Except for I'm trying to be horizontal so they can see me in the correct way.
There.
But now they're vertical.
That's okay. You don't care what they look like.
Okay, do you guys, everyone?
Oh, we have Howie in person cupping. Very cool.
Yeah, so we are here setting up our cupping. Who here has cupped before? Okay, whose first time is a cupping?
This will be my first.
Okay, awesome taste. What is your name?
You can call me Cole.
Hi. Oh, cool. Cool. Hello. So nice to meet you in person or via Discord. So you can tell I am very new to Discord. Bear with me here. So for cupping, does anyone want to share with us what the purpose of cupping is? Schlagovers.
Sure. Cupping is so that you can taste a whole bunch of coffees side by side. And with somewhat consistent brewing without having to deal with doing things in sequence.
Let's see, desktop capture.
Essentially.
Okay. I was trying to figure out if people could hear the. I'm trying to get the audio from the Discord call to get onto the live stream so that people can watch the video after and hear what people are saying. That is, we are having so many technical issues right now. This is hilarious.
Ain't nobody got to hear what I say.
I appreciated it.
We're trying. There is an attempt here.
Yeah, I connected to the live and I give the Discord very big.
But yeah, so the plan is to do these 7 coffees, and then do the next set of 7. So, and then I think like what will be helpful is I think like what's really fun with all of this cupping stuff, especially if you haven't tasted like multiple varietals side by side, is to just be able to experience like kind of how different presentations of like we even have some coffees from like the same farm. It's like Garrido, where it's like, okay, well the varietal is definitely different, and you can clearly tell if you've tasted enough coffees, you can clearly tell what is actually different and how you experience that. And I think this is going to be very apparent as we begin doing this. Okay, we have people.
All right, so we are finally set up. Hello, we are here with a number of folks to have. So are you in the right room? Are we all with our varietal set? Okay, cool. Selfwood and Schlagovers, you look very prepared.
Very prepared.
I'm so sorry. Okay, so hola, we have Nick Laria joining us here. All right, so what are we doing today? We are going to cup 7 of the varietals that we released in season 1. Everyone should have the copies. So this holds how much water? Let's say this holds 250 milliliters of water. You multiply that by 0.055, and that's the ratio that we want to cut with. Now, so in each of these Picolot bags, we have 13 grams. So depending on your vessel type, you want to multiply, first figure out how much water can your vessel hold, and then multiply that by 0.055, and then you weigh it out. Now, what we have here are, for each coffee, this is 14. We have 2 cups. One is going to be, for our vessel, it came out to 10.8 grams. And then the rest, we're going to use for purge. Does that make sense? So for the next 5-ish minutes, we can just start to portion them out. And what I did was, we want to be as unbiased as we can be. However, because this is a virtual cupping and you're the one setting up your own cupping, you can't not know what you're cupping. So something that I think we should do is, it'll say PL something, right? PL 14. Just write 14 on the back, and then on the cupping table, don't put it on the front. Just put it like this. So for our cupping purposes, we have copy number 14. Does that make sense? So I have 14, and then I'm going to purge. I have two bowls. You don't really need a bowl for the purging, but just to give you an idea, this is the complete setup. Number 14, this is my purge beans. This is my actual beans. This is my purge cup. This is my actual beans. All right. And for our coffee grinding, we're going to use this very special. What should we name this bad boy? Argentina? What? It's a gorgeous grinder. It's in testing mode that Dennis sent us just for our first impressions. I'm gonna wipe this camera.
Okay, let's see. Well, I can't get this audio thing to work as well as I want it to work. Oh well.
Brian, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, but I don't think we can get your audio into the stream that easily. So I don't know. I don't know if this will be good for people who are trying to watch this after. Nobody. Can somebody check my stream to see if you can hear the audio from whatever people are saying on the call? I have no easy way of doing that.
Did anyone hear June on the call in the stream? No. Nobody in the chat on stream.
I know. Or it might be like very we might have like Yeah, there might be overlap audio. Hold on. Let me figure this out, and then I'll like actually begin cupping.
Can you walk through that really quick again? So my vessels hold 200 milliliters of water. I multiply that by 0.55. That's how much grounds I should have, and then everything over that I just pour out.
So you should have exactly 11 grams in your cupping bowl, and then the remaining use as purge.
Just 1 second.
I know you may think, oh, what a waste. If you feel bad about it, you can just use 1 gram for purge, and then I don't know what you'll do with the remaining 1 gram. Maybe blend everything and create a Picolot varietals blend.
Yeah, sounds like that's about right. So I'll have 11 grams in each bowl, and then the amount of water is 200 milliliters multiplied by 0.55.
The amount of water, you'll fill the bowl with water to the full the top.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Oh, it seems like you and I have a similar bowl, barista hustle.
Yeah, but I just measured and it's 200 milliliters. I thought you said 250.
Ah. 200. 200 times 0.055 is 11.
Oh.
We did 10.8. So we'll add 1 bean more to each cup. Okay, we'll just do 10.8. Yes, it's a range. But this is a casual Sunday morning cupping, so yes. For the barista hustle bowl, 10.8 to 11 grams is good. What? This is very casual. Okay, so now we're looking at the grind size. It's really hard to have the same grind size across different grinders, but you want to go for like
Let's try this.
sea salt, slightly coarser than sea salt. What is most important is that you have the same grind size across all the bowls. So even if we're a little bit off on the exact grind size, that's okay, as long as we are maintaining consistency across your own table, right? The goal of cupping is to really control all the variables that you can. That is much harder to do if you're brewing 7 coffees at the same time. So what are we controlling for? We're controlling for the same vessel. We're controlling for the same grind size. We're controlling for ideally the same off roast date. So usually in Cup of Excellence or Best of Panama competitions, all the coffees are roasted at the same time, rested for the same amount of period, and then all cut during the same competition window. So these coffees were roasted on the same day, so we're trying to control for that. It was roasted about 6-7 weeks ago. Now, in competition, we typically roast and cup within 8 to 24 hours. With our logistics, it was difficult to do that, but I actually think that the roast style of Picolot is quite light and really like true to the greens expressions. So I'm actually quite happy that we're doing a 7 weeks off roast. I think it'll really open up and shine during our cupping. Now, any questions so far?
Are you already grinding samples?
Yes, we started to grind samples now.
Okay. I'll grind.
Okay, great. This is so fun. This is IRL and then
Virtual. Should
Yes.
take some photos.
So, Schlagobers, what is your goal today for cupping?
I'm just here to have fun. I already blind cupped everything previously just because I didn't want the stress of having to do it online. So yeah, just have fun, support, and taste some nice coffees.
Amazing. Okay. Cool. What is your goal today for cupping?
Want to see if I can develop more of a palette, especially in regards to my grinder.
Oh, what grinder?
I'm using the Ode 2 with the default burrs. I think that it definitely grinds like pretty full body. And I don't necessarily like full body. So interested to see how well I can taste all these.
Yeah. Our grinder today is like extremely painfully clear, like high clarity. We only started experimenting with it like 3 weeks ago, and I started to taste different things in coffees that I thought I knew really well. So I'm very excited actually because I got to cup all of these coffees that I know quite well through a different grinder. So yeah, we'll see. And Zeltwood, what is your goal for today?
I've heard from a lot of people the best way to learn about the difference in coffees is to cup them. I've never done this before, so I'm hoping to really understand more contrast between all the flavors I think I know.
Amazing. I'm super excited for you. Zeltwood, the only recommendation I have for you right now is you have this facing. Yes, okay, that's better. That way you're not. Did you write the numbers on the back like this?
Oh, that's a good idea. Let me get a marker.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anyone who can't see, people are setting this up in the Discord, and I'm very far behind.
Video crash, guys. Who has a video stock?
Me. A lot.
Okay, how close are we to grinding? Okay, we have some. Wow, Schlagobers, that was really fast.
I don't mess around.
You don't, you're very focused. Locked in.
I'm so behind.
That's a good placement for this.
I have to hand grind everything.
Oh, someone's hand grab.
Oh,
That sucks.
I'm definitely used to hand grinding for cuppings too, so you can get it done.
I only have 6 cupping bowls right now, so I'm using another cup. This is a cup that.
What is that, Brian?
This is a cup that Pepe's wife Monique made me. So maybe we will put Pepe's coffee in
Man-shilling
here.
cups.
Yeah, we'll put it in here, so it'll taste the
Okay.
best, right?
Why did you come here?
The funny thing is, I haven't actually tasted.
Scores
I
in
haven't
here.
tasted like 2 of these
Yeah, so
coffees ever.
Today you're experiencing history. You are part of our soft alpha launch testing
Jeez.
of an app that we have built or are building. It's a cupping app. So what I love about cupping is how we taste the same things, but we have different experiences or different articulations of our experiences. And when you combine those different expressions, that's you like sort of get to see the whole picture of the respective coffee. and it's fun. It's meant to be fun and full of learning. And a lot of people that come to cuppings, all of you, I think what unites us is our curiosity and our openness to learn, and that's what this app is trying to encourage. So, if you have a phone, all you need is your phone. Not everyone is on Discord. Everyone, all of you?
I'm pretty sure most people are on the Discord. I mean, I can link this.
Okay.
I don't know.
They're way ahead of me. Okay, where is the...
I'm behind. My grinder's slow.
Alright, so give me a thumbs up when you are in the cupping room. Yeah, all of you. Schlagobers, Cole, and Zeltwood, Saman, and Tyree. Give me a thumbs up when you're in the cupping app in the chat. Alright. Jade, what is your goal for today? Awesome. And can you where did you come from? Do you live around here?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So I completed a couple weeks ago, tried a couple weeks ago when a friend was in town. So I'm curious to see if I can get some differences today.
Okay, awesome. Your friend had the cupping fit?
I got this.
Oh, okay, and you did it with your friend.
Yeah.
I know. What was that like?
It was fun.
Yeah.
All right.
It was interesting to try to look up like our case units versus what you guys have published.
Yeah.
Some of them light up, some of them not supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, we're starting to smell some amazing coffee at the table. And Donna, what about you? Awesome. Okay. So the expectations are very high. Okay, so we are done with grinding. The way the cupping app works, there are two parts. So everyone should be now in varietals cupping session. The first part is your experience of each individual coffee, and the coffee is marked only by their number, the Picolot number, and not the name. And again, we're trying to remove or mask any biases. Now, that part is optional. I highly recommend that you tap or write down any experience. It could be something like, it reminds me of XYZ from childhood, or like this ingredient that I used to make my mom's favorite recipe of blah blah blah, or it reminds me of a rainy day. All of those are valid experiences of the coffee, so go for it. And then the second part of the cupping app is you're ranking your preferences in order. So you're being forced to rank which one did you like the most, because the reason why cupping is so good for learning and unlocking your palate is because you're being forced to compare. Just tasting 1 versus 2 versus 7 at once, you have to compare what are the differences, what are the similarities, what are the nuanced differences or nuanced similarities across the 7, right? Because 2 coffees can both have notes of citrus, but different types of citrus. It could be fresh orange. It could also be dried lemon. Okay, so now let's go. Dive in. Go right now. You're free to assess the fragrance. Fragrance is what we call our experience through our nasal system. So what are you smelling when the coffee is freshly ground? So in the app, there is no separation between fragrance, aroma, body, acidity, aftertaste, all of that, because it's too heavy. And we're doing casual mode today.
This is very serious.
So maybe 5 more minutes for fragrance, and then what everyone should have while they're assessing the fragrance is boiling water between 200 and 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperature controlled, what are they called? Kettles are the best. If you don't have one, that's okay. Just boiling water.
Has everyone smelled it?
How about here? Does anyone need more time?
Yep.
Okay. Just give us a ready when you're ready.
Sure. Thank you.
Wow. I haven't smelled some of these coffees in a while, so it's really nice to be able to experience a lot of these coffees again. I think that's what's been really fun with putting these kits together. Nice.
They smell very different.
You're covered in salt.
And what I'm excited about this app is we'll see how your own preferences compare to the rest of the group.
I'm ready. Sorry about that.
All right, awesome. No, hey, this is great. So everyone's ready for water. 200 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, what we're gonna do is we pour to the top of the vessel, but slightly, like just enough so that you can skim, break the crust later. Very important to pour the same amount of water in each cup, okay? And then we're gonna set a timer for 4 minutes. I will call time, but if you want to set your own timer because you're slightly off from us, feel free to do that. Okay, ready? Okay, I'm starting a timer. 3, 2, 1. The timer is running.
Okay, I should pour water into my cups too. Sure.
All right, now a minute into pouring hot water, you want to start smelling. Many people go right away, but for me, I think it's best to start a minute 30 into pouring, because you'll give the coffee enough time to brew or start brewing. And you can start to assess the aroma. Now, aroma is what you're smelling after pouring water into the grinds.
Waiting for my kettle to heat back up. And this is what we are cupping. I'm so curious if people are going to be watching this from... Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm behind. I'm catching up. Oh, we didn't. We are not able to hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the 4th minute, which is in 30 seconds, you're going to start breaking the crust. And as the name implies, you're breaking the crust of the coffee grinds that has formed up top. And we're releasing the gas and just letting the coffee settle. So in 10 seconds, you will break. All right, please break. Let's go from here.
Do you need stock between two modes?
Okay.
Is this a casual cupping, or are we at that's the family?
I'm behind. I don't even have half of these filled with water yet. My kettles blew up. I resorted to my half-broken Stag Pro Studio Edition that is also half-broken, so I have no way of heating water very quickly.
Yoon, what if I don't have a crust on most of these?
Because they're really lightly roasted, you may not crust that have formed, or crust that have already broken before we have the chance to break it. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we let it rest for like 6 weeks.
Great. Now we are going to skim. What is skimming? You can put it closer. Yep. You're skimming for the bubbles and
Oh, I forgot to break these.
to clear the top so we can start tasting. Donna, can you bring the thing? Sorry, which thing? Yeah, that, yeah. We're just gonna dump it here. And then wash your spoons and proceed to do the other ones. gimme.
This guy screwed this up big time.
Me too.
Professional.
Just takes practice, like everything, right?
Mm-hmm. My kettle doesn't contain enough water to fill all 7 of these to the top.
Yeah,
I've been there.
I filled all of them, but the last one was half full. So hopefully it tastes.
Oh, you didn't have enough water?
No.
Yeah.
I was worried that was going to happen to me, so I cheated on a couple cups.
So when that happens, now you know that you cannot do 7 cups at once with your kettle. So you can break it up into 3 and 4. So do 3 and then put on
Yeah.
water again.
That's what I did
and
here.
then put a new timer.
So I did 3 and then I did 4. It's fine, guys. It'll be fine. This is not that serious.
Initially, we wanted to do varietals and geisha at the same time, so 14. But then I was like, Brian, do you think people have 14 vessels? And
No, I don't even have
probably
more than...
not.
I only have 6 of the same cupping bowls. So bad.
Alright, so is everyone writing their impressions in the app?
It's time to taste.
Not yet.
10 minutes.
So, at the 9th, 10th minute, we can start to taste. Now, these barista hustle cupping bowls are really terrible at holding heat. So I find myself being able to start tasting at like minute 8.5 or 9. But if you're using ceramic bowls that are better at retaining heat, I start tasting at like 10.5. Right, so a minute left. Now, a lot of you are really curious and passionate about coffee and have a lot of experience brewing at home. Tasting coffee and cupping is the same as when you're tasting coffee that is brewed. This is, in fact, a way of brewing coffee. It's immersion. It's like the French press. Nice, French press. So, when you are tasting your own brew at home, your initial impressions, I don't know, you may notice acidity, you may notice body, you may be thinking, oh, the mouthfeel, or you may go straight into flavor calls, like, this is very fruity.
What now?
Like,
What's wrong?
I started this kid.
No.
Sorry.
oh, I love that. Was that your baby? Cool.
Yes, just putting it to bed.
Yeah. Okay, so what time is it there?
10 to 9 in the evening.
Oh gosh, wow, you're cupping with us. Okay, so we can start cupping. I heard that there's some virus going on in the US, some like stomach bug situation. So we're going to do modified cupping.
We're all gonna die.
So we're going to do modified
I need to
cupping.
break these. Skim these. Professional, by the way. Dude, these kettles, this kettle is so unreliable. It's like not heating up. What's going on?
To you guys because you're just you and you can taste straight out of it. Now it's been 10 minutes and 30 seconds. We can start to taste. The order doesn't matter because it's semi-blind. Just try not to flip it because when you know the origin, the varietal, the processing method, it biases you and you'll learn and improve less. And this is a very casual cupping. So now you can start tasting. one important thing to keep in mind between cups, you will taste, and then you rinse your spoon before going on to the next one, just to prevent cross contamination. And here, all of us at the roastery are doing modified cupping, which is just pouring yourself a little bit into your own vessel and drinking out of that. So we're safe from stomach bugs.
Okay, I'm at 9 minutes on my end, but okay, cool.
Reading your stuff. Cupping.
I haven't had coffee today, so this is I'm just waking up drinking this.
Real coffee. You start your day.
Starting at work so bad. Wow. It's a little bit hotter. So if you did a offset where I did 4 and then 3 because of my kettle, just like keep track of which ones are the hotter ones and offset it by a few minutes.
If you are capacity limited on water, you can always keep like just a second batch of hot water on a pot or in the thermos or something, and then reload your kettle really quick, and that way you don't have to spend as much time getting back up.
Yeah, but I think I don't know how many people are cupping like 14 coffees at the same time at home all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, for 14, I've got to run 2 kettles.
Hmm.
2 kettles.
For anyone who's joining this who has randomly stumbled upon this on YouTube, this is the Picolot Season 1 cupping, and people are discussing this in the Discord, in the Picolot Discord. Yeah, people are actually following along, which is awesome. But we're tasting through all of our varietals kit, so we have Pacamara, Larina, SL34, Heirloom, Mocha, a Gesha in here, Sidra as well. So a lot of just really interesting varieties of coffee are here, and the fun thing is to be able to taste everything side by side and kind of experience what is the difference between each varietal and, of course, region and producer and processing to an extent.
Nice try, Brian Corn.
I actually finally get to taste 2 of these coffees because I never got to taste them.
One thing I think a lot of home brewers will relate to the sentiment that coffee really changes over time from hot to mild to cool. That's what we're looking for in cupping as well. So when it's very hot, you assess all the attributes of the coffee. Now that's like at minute 10. And then within 15 minutes, you assess again. It'll have cooled more towards room temp. And then along the 35th minute to the last 45th minute mark, it'll be like cold, right? And you want to assess how is the coffee changing and progressing over time. The mark of a fantastic coffee is how it shows up for you when it's cold. Do you want to keep slurping and sipping on it, or does it taste very different from when it was hot? Like, so my scoring sometimes when it's hot may be very high, but when it gets cold, it can dip. But the opposite can also happen where it shows up like here, but then when it's cold, it actually gets bumped, and the score goes up.
And you,
Yeah.
if you're gonna find a defect, where would you find it? Hot, cold, warm, or anywhere?
It depends on the seriousness of the defect. If it's like phenol, like some like mold, you will smell it from the moment you're grinding. If it's a more mild defect, like a Quaker or a sour, you will find it. It depends on how severe it is. But for sure, you should be able to tell when it's cold. It'll really, really show up.
Those were incredible.
All right, so it's been 17 and a half minutes. So now is sort of like the medium point where you're assessing, okay, how did it show up for me when it was hot? And how is it holding up? Is it stable, or is the coffee a little volatile and like really showing different characteristics over time? I find that the more processing in the coffee, there tends to be more dynamic. I mean, to put it positively, it sort of moves more over time.
It's like
Less
there's
predictable.
well, it's like sometimes there are things that are, it's like separation or like falling apart. It's like if you've ever tasted hyper processed coffees on like quote unquote not so good varietals, you definitely can taste the separation between like they're covering up something with the processing. Like you can taste that distinctive separation. So that's why like some coffees, especially like if you look at like hyper processed coffees from Yunnan, you can definitely taste like processing slapped on top of something like Catamore. So and you don't experience some of that until the coffee really really cools down. So with all of these coffees, you know, we basically let them cool all the way to room temperature. And well, this is you can do this in general and see if anything falls apart. Like, are things still harmonious? Do things maybe taste even better? But it's really like, I think the mark of like well processed or stronger processing or better whatever coffee, depending on how you want to define things, is like, does it still hold together? And at least with the coffees we have here, the only one that you may experience some of that, which I don't even think so, is because these are all like relatively clean process, is like maybe the SL34 if you're really really good at tasting. But wow.
I'm now like seriously putting it as casual.
In general, you've probably been more than any of us.
Also, the intensity of acidity or a lot of structure becomes more apparent. So like things become louder. You'll get more of the immersion taste, I would say. So like if you've ever done a very very long steep immersion brew, that's really what is occurring here. And you know things will just become more magnified as the coffee cools down, and that is a good and bad thing depending on what's happening. But yeah. Mm.
Right,
Let's be a little sparing though, so we can taste the one that's super cold.
never write down towards what I'm dealing with. So I forgot I was first. Instead, I feel like I've already had my fair share. Like, as long as you are, I'm just staying in one and just taking a few. Oh, I've done another thing. That one? So this one? Okay, you like this one?
Is everyone tasting the same 7 at the same time? Yes. All right, you can join. Yeah, you can join the voice call in the Discord if you want to. But this is for this stream is for the people who picked up these the cupping kits. But yeah, we're doing the varietals right now, and then we will switch over to the geishas in a little bit. But yeah, I'm letting these really cool down and see. A lot of these coffees are still really holding up, which is super fun.
On the cupping app, you have to click save for each coffee for the score to save before you collapse. Otherwise, it won't save the score.
I wish there were more of these coffees. They're incredible.
You wish what?
I wish there were more. I wish we had more of these.
Oh.
They're really yummy.
They're gone now. Actually, we might have like 1 or 2 bag stragglers, but
Yes.
you can sell it to all these people who showed up.
I think I know one. I might want to buy.
You definitely, I think like one thing is for those of you who are doing this more blind, I think you definitely can pick up on like there are like a lot of similarities in terms of I think where you could probably figure out where certain regions are or even the farm, but there's definitely a very different presentation when it comes to each varietal. Like you definitely can taste that there's a difference between something like a Pacamara or a Sidra or a Geisha, especially when it comes to like mouthfeel and how do things present. But regardless of varietals and all that, it's like a lot of these coffees are just super tasty. I would say that a lot of the roasting now that we're doing really is more, we're not, I don't think we're like ultra light, of course, but these are all about 7 weeks off, and they're still greatly holding up. I'm not really tasting, I didn't even store these that well. I'm not really tasting any sort of, I guess, fade on any of this, or like the roasting falling apart, which I think is fun.
No, you're not fading. I think even more rest can do, but to do more justice for many of them.
Yeah, I think so. So that's.
And
yeah.
The purpose of this set is to expose you to different varietals that we've been able to procure and feature to you. I think, Picolot was started on the premise that there is so much amazing coffee in Panama, across different regions of Panama in Volcan and Boquete. And a lot of times these coffees are not as accessible in terms of like price point and just supply. But through Picolot, we adjust the number of grams per bag, so it's still not negligible, but you're able to taste many different kinds of coffees from Panama in these smaller doses. Now, in that process, we really thought, oh my gosh, Panama equals geisha to many people, but there's so much more to Panama than just geisha. There are amazing catuais, pacamaras, SL34s, SL28s, Laurinas, and like even varietals I've never tasted before from any other coffee producing regions, which we are going to be featuring in S2. Lots of really exciting underexplored varietals. So this cupping table, we are showcasing some of that. It's like a little intro to what you will see in season 2.
Yeah, and it's also there are also like other interesting coffees too that we've been able to procure across the last few months, like Gestros from Taiwan, Larina from Guatemala, Wash Cedar from Ecuador. So what's been interesting is like there are also a lot of like non-Panamanian coffees that are just really fascinating, and we're able to present those to you guys in very approachable volumes and at like reasonable price points, I would say. I mean, yes, like some of these coffees are expensive, that is the reality of it, but yeah, I think for a lot of you guys don't actually want or need that much coffee to experience something, right? When you can do something like this and you can really understand how a coffee behaves with such a small dose of coffee, right? Like we're having a lot of fun and getting a lot out of it, just tasting 10 to 12 grams of coffee, which is super fun.
Now we're approaching the 27, 28-minute mark. Because again, our barista hustle cups are terrible at retaining heat. It's already cold-ish for us on this side. How are we feeling about our scores? I think a word of advice for some of you that have already done this and are joining us for a second time, because you've already assessed each coffee side by side at the same time, a fun exercise for you this time could be to try to identify which is which from your sensory palate memory. And yeah, if you're able to recall, hey, that Picolot number so-and-so, the Laurina tasted like this, and in this cup I taste those attributes. That's how a lot of people like start to it's like memory recall, and like tasters cup competitors will do lots of training like that. Yeah, there's no coffee left for us to keep tasting because there's nothing left. All right, but because I think the others still have their bit remaining in their cups, and also it's probably still holding up the heat, right? I think we'll give another 5-ish minutes and we can start to talk about the coffees. So in 5 minutes, I'm going to ask everyone to submit their cupping scores into the app. And then you'll be able to see, okay, I am very far off from everyone else, or I am very much in the realm of what everyone else likes. Yeah, these are very different coffees. We were able to feature some more varying geographies outside of Panama as cameos in the varietals category. Like the Taiwan coffee, I thought was really interesting. It did so well with ample rest, like even 3-4 months rest, and it started to really bloom and just like flower bomb. All right, so there's a lot of side chats happening here. They're talking about coffee. It's not serious at all. It's very, very casual. Hi. What are you talking about? Oh,
Picolot 14 was, I got really dark roast notes 2 weeks ago when I tasted it. Less so now, but still darker on the table versus some of the others.
I was saying, I thought it was the darkest on the tour.
Oh. Okay, we'll debrief on each of these slots. Okay, so
Hello.
any hot takes, or don't reveal your favorite necessarily, but
Oh, okay.
what are you thinking?
I'm loving all of them. They're all very different, but of course I got a few that are my favorite. Very fruity, floral. Just great overall. Good coffee. Good coffee.
All right. Okay, say that again.
Supposed to say.
Okay, say XX was.
One of them tasted very like herby cilantro, like hot pot to me, like so savory.
I got that.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it, but it's definitely very interesting.
I added you as the highest privilege of
I
mod.
think
on
my
my-
favorites are
on my-
all
you can
Okay.
ban people.
Do you like red fruit generally in life
Yeah,
more than yellow fruit?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, because I have this friend of mine that we go to Cup of Excellence a lot together, and he was like, "Oh, I hated XYZ coffee. It tasted like watermelon." And I'm like, "Do you hate watermelon?" And he's like, "Yeah, I hate watermelon."
I've heard that
I
from
know.
cucumber haters too.
Yes, yes. All right, so I think we're gonna submit scores now because we have to start.
Oh.
Brian, when does our geisha cupping start?
I think everybody here is probably also doing the geisha cupping.
All right, so be sure before you submit, rank your favorites. It's forced ranking. Let's say you gave the same score to 3 of them. You still have to, you're forced to rank them still, right? So at the top would be, I want to drink this every day for the rest of my life. And then at the bottom is, I'm like, okay if I don't taste this coffee again.
Then we can determine how like well, okay, let's see what the results are, because I think what's really fun to look at this is also the price points of each of these coffees is also quite different. We have coffees that are really cheap to quite expensive, even across the varietals. So we can see it's like, hey, does everyone actually were there coffees that outperformed this, right? They outperformed their perceived dollar value in some sort of way. And I think that's what's pretty fun to look at.
It's actually really difficult to rank them.
There are two coffee. Actually, there are like 3 coffees on here that all taste super similar, in my opinion.
I agree.
They're just all like the modulation is slightly different, and I think that's what it's going to be something to do with like the varietals, or maybe processing, or maybe both. But definitely a lot of the coffees that we did for varietals, I think they're a lot more like red and citrus leaning, I would say. Yeah, pretty red leaning in here, if we were to think about colors.
Very hard. Okay, does anyone need more time for the ranking portion?
Like 1 more minute, please.
Just in time.
They're all a lot of these are like really close. It's hard to pick.
I'm missing some people's rank.
Yeah, we're missing some people's rankings.
Brian.
I'm gonna hit save in a second. One sec.
I would also save a little bit of coffee, so during debrief, you can like recall your notes and then compare to the rest and taste again. That's the one thing I hate about like competition cupping. So you cup for 45 minutes, then go into a separate debrief room, and then you talk about these coffees, like every single coffee you're debriefing, like across all the attributes. And then I'm like, okay, but I want to taste it again so I can memorize, like my palate can memorize and learn. But then the coffee's gone and they like dump everything away. So
also, I would say
all right, everyone done? Yep.
Yeah. Also, I would say like some of these coffees, I think brew better than cup better. In my opinion. Like some coffees definitely I think are more interesting when you brew them. Or like they don't perform as well on immersion, if that makes sense.
Do you think that's because brewing can promote acidity, or is there other reasons behind that?
Yeah, well, you can modulate the coffee in a lot more ways. So, like, you can push for more sweetness, more acidity, florality, however you want.
All right, we're gonna do the reveal. Everyone ready now? Okay, we're ready. Honestly, I couldn't really taste because there was so little left and I was mising it. We can talk about each of them. Okay, we're gonna do the grand reveal. On your app, we're going to do reveal everything from the bottom up. So keep your phones close. All right, grand reveal. Okay.
Yeah. This coffee is the worst.
All right, so we collected everyone's top and preferences and notes. At the very bottom of the list is number 13, which was weird classy. Taiwan honey processed geisha. Okay, so what did we all taste together as a group? So Donna tasted hot pot.
It's like basil, spearmint, I don't know. Basil, probably, I would say. Dry tea leaf. This is like...
Yes.
Yeah, this is like a coffee where I'm like, this one definitely tastes way better brewed. This is like actually such a great example, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. This coffee in cupping, it was sort of the middle of the pack. Average 5.6 in our preferences. I got some tea-like qualities, but then like leaning on the spices more than like tea.
If you guys brewed this coffee before, I feel like there were a lot more. There was like florals and dried tea leaves. Like if you've tasted other Taiwan coffees, that's really what it tastes like. But maybe on something on immersion here, where it's like we're getting all of like you're getting too much of the terroir, the terror. You know, you're getting too much of like this is what the land tastes like, and it really popped up, especially as it started to cool. And I think that's kind of like the first thing that you're perceiving, whereas a lot of those more delicate notes really took like a far back, like a back seat, and it was much harder to perceive. Whereas in brewing, it was the other way around, where it's like, okay, we get all of those expressive qualities first, then you would taste like terroir. So it's kind of flipped. Maybe it's immersion. I never brewed this coffee on immersion, actually. So I don't know. This is the first time doing it.
I think it'll be really interesting to brew this together, actually, because recently when we brewed it, it was like super floral, like lots of lavender, and so through brewing you can control different variables to your liking and accentuate certain qualities more than others. But Taiwan is a very interesting coffee producing region because it is newer, and it had been producing tea for hundreds and hundreds of years, and coffee is a newer crop for them. So the producers there are slowly converting their tea plantation to coffee because coffee is actually per pound more profitable to them. But most Taiwan coffee gets consumed within the region and never leaves because there's so much demand for their own coffee within the region. So yeah, that's why it's really hard to come by Taiwan coffee. Now, next. Okay. Next is
Santa Felisa.
Our collective number 6 ranking was Santa Felisa Laudina Natural. This is a very interesting varietal. Laudina is also very hard to come by. Very few farms in the world grow Laudina. It has naturally very little caffeine, like 90% caffeine. So even without the decaffeination process, the plant itself doesn't have caffeine, which is why it's hard to grow, and very few farmers have Laudina plants. Now, in this, I tasted processing more than others, and I think what some of you described as darker, like dark roast, it's actually roasted quite light. So what you're tasting, I think, is more processing than the roast level. And Santa Felisa is a farm in Guatemala, Acatenango region near a volcano. And they're really expert at doing natural processing. So I was excited to share the Laudina Natural with all of you. The only other Laudina that we've had in this season was the Hacienda La Esmeralda Laudina, which they won number 1 in BOP, got auctioned off for $10,000 or something like that. And they also produce very little Laudina. So even if you want to buy it, you cannot buy it. But we are featuring it in season 2. So again, so be excited for that. Now, anything else people want to add to Picolot number 14 Laudina?
I think like this is an example of like a lot of, it's like I still think this is like also the same issue with the Taiwan coffee, where it was like in brewing you could really tone down the, I guess, like, you know, the nuttiness or the Guatemalan flavor, not to knock on Guatemala, and you would get like a lot of really like crisp apple like acidity. So that was really what I was experiencing. It's like very pink, I would also say. But this is probably, I think, the cheapest coffee out of everything, just to note, in terms of green cost as well as, well, just in roasted cost. Like this should be the cheapest coffee out of the bunch. So I think what will be interesting is how does this stack up with everything else, which are more like traditionally expensive Panama coffees, and of course an Ecuadorian Sidra. But yeah, very earthy, as Chris says. I agree with that.
Yeah, it was super earthy to me. Like I literally wrote, I did it 2 days ago, but I definitely wrote it like this is not my favorite. You know, like when I was copying it. So yeah, like, and just because of the earthy notes, not necessarily of the, like, it was the least favorite of all the varieties that we had.
Okay, that's all of this is very exciting to hear where your preferences lie. Next is number 5 ranked is Hacienda La Esmeralda SL34 Natural. So the group got lots of fruit, more on the tropical side. Let's see, juicy, winey, honey, a little spicy. Where's number 4? especially when it's like cold, you get a little more of like the spice. Like I got a little bit of cinnamon maybe. This again is a natural.
This one should be
Alright.
anaerobic, right? This one has the anaerobic step, if I remember. This is three bag ANC.
It was Picolot number 4.
Yeah, so
Oh, BANC.
BANC. Yeah, so that like I think that spice that it's like this is what I was saying is like when it really really cools down, you can like taste that there's some sort of quote unquote separation or some sort of weirdness that occurs. And this should be the only like quote unquote actual anaerobic or that has like an anaerobic step in it in some sort of way. I think if I remember correctly, compared to the other coffees.
Yeah.
So
BANC means you dry. It's their own way of coating the coffee. It's dried on a bed for a certain number of days, and then anaerobically processed.
Yeah. So that's like where we're tasting some of that stuff, but otherwise, like yeah, it's this was my favorite coffee still my favorite coffee from last year. It's just like because it's for the price point of what this is and like how expressive it is and like enough like you get enough for those of you who've tasted enough Esmeralda coffees. This has some of that Esmeralda-ness in it, and it's like way cheaper than other coffees from Esmeralda. So it's really fascinating.
Yes, and we have some more SLs from Esmeralda this year. Their production was reduced by a lot, like maybe 35%, less than the year before. So the SLs are even more limited this year. Right, next up is Picolot number 16 is sitting at 3rd place. Garrido Pacamara Natural. Fourth place, sorry. So this is, I believe, the only Pacamara that we featured in Picolot. Pacamaras are larger coffees. They're difficult to roast for that reason. We, as a group, got lots of range from stone fruit to berry to tea to winey to jasmine. So I think it's sort of like a piece of music. Some pieces are just in across say 2 octaves, but this coffee it seems has a larger range, so 5, 6, 7 octaves, and you're pointing at those different characteristics.
Top 3.
All right, top 3. Drum roll, please. Okay, Pepe Dion's Cedra. Right. Wow. So it got 8 out of 9. So the group really liked it. Yeah, just a very complete coffee. Lots of florals. It's juicy, just so pleasant to sip on. You also get those tropical notes, but it still maintains body, not at the expense of the pleasant like malic acidity. So I think the group really liked this. A lot of us gave it 9 out of 9. So, right, drum roll, please.
Sorry, would you describe that one as bright?
Say?
Yeah. The 24. Would you describe it as bright or not really?
There are brighter coffees than this coffee. I would say it's not the brightest.
Okay.
I'm just gonna mute this.
Cool, thanks.
Top the black.
Yeah, for me, this coffee was like, I felt that it was super green, like got notes of lemongrass, a little bit like green tea, but it was so like has some acidity that it was nice. So, and I remember like drinking it when like not by cupping, and it was really good. So.
Yeah, brewed, it's fantastic. I that resonates with me too. Green tea, like green apple, So to your question, is this a very bright coffee? I wouldn't say like bright is one of the top 10 words I would use to describe this coffee. I would more describe it as complete and balanced. I think a lot of times like super bright coffee is not balanced and it's like very sharp in its acidity in a way that detracts from the cohesiveness of how the different attributes fit together. But this coffee is very complete and very stable. Structured, I would say.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
That's
very
really
structured.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So next up was number 2, Carido Mocha Natural. All right, mocha is a very rare varietal as well, which I'm happy we got to feature through Picolot. If you want to taste it again, you guys.
It's like
Really
honey,
good. So-
straight honey.
So, like, right next to each other, the Pepe versus the Garrido, I would say the Garrido is actually brighter in acidity. So a lot of us got
So good, but not sure what. Swimming pool.
sorry, what is it?
So good, but not sure what. Swimming pool. That's a tasting note.
That was
Someone put
but not
swimming
sure
pool
what.
as a flavor.
Like chlorine. It tastes like chlorine in a good way.
I might have just auto completed on accident. I think that was mine. I wanted to know what the tasting note would be for that. I couldn't put a name to it.
Like fermentation? I don't know.
This is like Big Brother. Yes.
Yeah, I would say that for this one, I got like tomato acidity. Like, it was nice, but it got like that tomato acidity compared like to the others.
Like Kenya
And-
coffee, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like red and citrus. There's like that florality of it. Like it really reminds me of like really loud washed Kenyans, but of course this is not washed. And yeah, I totally agree with that. It's like that. It's like citrus, citrus red. And then there is like that. It's kind of like delicate florality. But I could see. I guess like then there's like more fermentation because of the natural.
It was interesting because on the aroma, like when I was smelling it, recently grind, I noted that it was like cake, like smelled like cake, like sweet to me.
It's a very sweet coffee.
Tasting it now, I definitely get that tomato acidity you were talking about. That's a good tasting note.
Thank you, Chris. All right, so number 1. Wow, this is insane.
The lowest score overall because some people really didn't like. Oh no, just.
All right, so all of you are always like, "Oh my gosh, I only drink washed," but come on, are you for real?
The soundboard. Garrido Heirloom Cold Room Natural, I believe.
Yes.
This is a great coffee.
So, cold brew is a process that has become more and more prevalent. In Panama, most farms use it. So even when it's very, very hot, like 40-degree weather, the coffees are kept in air-conditioned rooms. They're treated like princesses. So this coffee went through that cold room process. And this is an Ethiopia heirloom. So it's, it's not like Bacamara where we can exactly trace the varietal. They planted some seeds from Ethiopia, and this is a very memorable coffee. It was not my favorite, but what did we like about this coffee, guys? It's very juicy.
Yeah, I like the
Extreme
juiciness of it for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of structure, definition, like very layered acidity. Like it's really clean too.
Lots of darker red fruits like cherry, red wine, maybe raspberry. And this is a coffee that Simba actually considered to use for the brewers competition. It was one of the contenders. So definitely a memorable coffee. I would call this a competition coffee. Yeah, but according to him, it's too loud. But according to you, it seems not to be. So.
Like,
Okay, so
for me, it was like oh, sorry.
Thing? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying like for me, this one was like a watermelon sour patch. That's how I described it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, like sensation, like that.
Warheads.
Like this. Yeah. Like...
So I would keep going with this, but we have to do a second round of cupping. Unfortunately or fortunately, it depends on who you are. So shall we how many of you are joining for the next one?
I'm in.
Okay, cool. So same process, same protocol. Now it's going to be all geishas. So it'll be a very different experience. We're examining one single varietal across different farms, different processing methods. So thank you to all of you who joined, who are not joining for the geisha part. But yeah, we'll reset and see you in like 10 minutes. We're gonna clear this.
Yeah.
See you.
All right, now we do geishas. Now we have to redo everything. So yeah, I guess like get everything reset. Let's then grind all the coffee, and then we can do everything all over again. So yeah, and then for those of you who already did cup, you can rejoin us in like probably 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll go from there.
Super cool.
Yeah, I don't have the geisha, but I had a lot of fun with this one. Thanks, everyone.
It was a pleasure to hang out with you. See you later, man.
Great. Yeah.
All right. Now we move on to the expensive coffees.
Can you give me like a dollar figure and the difference, Brian?
This set, it's like, well, we only charge $20 more, but a lot of these coffees.
You did only charge $20 more.
Yeah, a lot of these coffees were like like 50 to 200% more expensive. Like,
wow,
they're more expensive, for sure. But I think it's just like when we're putting together a lot of these, there are some that just throw things out of whack a little. Like, we have like Alita Volta, Dark Room Dry. We have Janssen Natural Anaerobic. And then we have like some kind of, I would say, deeper cut stuff like Katoa, which is still available, it's not available anymore. But yeah, these are a little more expensive premium coffees.
Oh, you still had some Katoa in your yard sale.
Yeah, there might be a few
yesterday.
bags roasted from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But it's like we have these excess coffees here and there. But anyway, I'm going to reset, and I only have so many cupping bowls.
Wait, do we have new people? Do we have to go through the cupping protocol again? Brian?
I don't know.
Okay, can you say in chat if you're new and... Okay, do people want us to go over the protocol again, yes or no? Say yes or no in chats, please.
I'm all good.
Yeah, I'm already started mine.
All right, so we are labeling. I'll just do it really quick, 1 minute. What you see here, PL 27. Write the number 27 on the back so we can make it as blind as possible. Depending on your vessel size, multiply the capacity of the vessel by 0.055, and that's how many grams of coffee you need to have in your cupping bowl. And then we will grind and start with the fragrance. And we're starting to portion them out right now.
At what minute do you do the scrape the top off thing? The crust? 4 minutes?
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think we have some new people.
All right. Resetting for cuppings. Fun.
No, now wait. We already have the three. We already have three. Let me say.
7. Are you staying for the next one? No. Aguacateo. Not here.
All right.
Which one is first?
Something I encourage you to do is look at the beans before you grind them and just take a minute to admire them because they're truly beautiful and it's very, just soak it all in. And you can compare like how the geisha beans look against the varietals. The shapes are very different. If you still have a little bit left of the laurina, you're gonna see that the laurina is very pointy. That's why we named it Barbie. It's like pointy and long. The geisha beans, geisha in general are on the larger side. The pacamara that we cup probably is larger, but you know, like all of these things contribute to how we describe and experience the coffee. This is what's going on.
And at what point do we do that? Rape the cloudiness off the top.
You mean skimming?
What is that called?
After breaking?
Yeah.
That the faster you can do it, the better. So what I would do as a one-person cupping team is break all 7 and then skim immediately right after. If you have a helper on the front, then have them skim it right after.
Are you grinding already too?
Yes, we're just starting to grind.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna do that as well.
You joined. you had your own company, and how did this round compare?
I think it's a little harder to tell the differences between them. Yeah, there were a few more people. It just felt a little more rushed than just comfort at home. But I did wind up with the same favorite both times.
Oh wow, which was?
Picolot 16.
Heirloom?
Yeah, heirloom.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it was interesting to compare notes between the two.
Wow. Okay. And you like the Picolot 16 for the same reasons?
Yeah, like red fruit, cherry juiciness.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Howie, which one was your favorite?
15.
Which one was 15? Do you remember?
It was the mocha. Brian's gonna laugh at me. The mocha natural.
I thought you were a washed guy.
I am.
So what's happening to you?
I don't know.
He likes flavor.
He likes flavor. True.
What's that, Brian?
Is it a sin to like flavor?
Yes, and I don't want to be right.
It was 15. It was the mocha. It was the mocha natural. Brian asked me, he goes, "Are you gonna buy it?" I was like, "No, I can't stand. I couldn't stand it on the front." That was the one that I couldn't stand when we did the cupping last year.
Which one?
The mocha natural. When we did the Garita.
But this was your favorite today?
It was my favorite today.
Wow, you're a man of contradictions. And Nick, your favorite was?
22. What a surprise. I'm supposedly
Which was 22?
the
Heirloom cold.
cold. Yeah, it was great. It was.
Why is it a surprise that you liked it the most?
Because supposedly I'm like a wash.
You guys,
Like,
yeah, everyone's a washed. Yeah, everyone says they like washed, right?
Everything changes once you're blind.
I blame Quan.
All right, Donna, which one was your favorite? The mocha. Are you surprised? Are you not surprised?
I had no expectations, so I'm not surprised.
Sometimes no expectations is the best way to be.
Ian, can you share the QR code for the geishas, please?
Yes. What was your favorite?
15.
What was 15?
The mocha.
Okay, wow. Well, you guys really like Garrido.
But I never got the same notes while I was doing at all.
I'm gonna get the QR code for the.
I got high class.
Oh wow. Oh, friendship.
I joined this first.
You know, on this copying, I became a Garrido fan. So I hope like Picolot brings more of it.
All right.
See you later. Geisha.
Okay, the QR code is here.
Geisha.
Oh, we have to send it on Discord.
No, I know.
Now you know you're gonna hide your true self. Gotta be honest. You just take a screenshot of them and I get happy.
Wow. All right.
Alright. Okay, so we're starting again with the fragrance.
Wow. It has been a while since I've smelled some of these coffees. They are incredible.
All right, so we are starting with the fragrance now.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. All right.
So for those of you who are new, I think Backpack Roaster, you did not join for the varietals coming. So once you scan the QR code, you will see a way to score or note your experience of the coffee. And then you have to hit save in order for the notes to save. And then at the end, you're forced to, not forced, you are highly encouraged to rank your preferences. So it's like, you're really like having to think about which coffees, did I like this coffee more than the other one? Because that's how we improve as cuppers too. All right, so we'll do fragrance for another 5 minutes and then move on to pouring water.
Did you start time?
Oh, no, we haven't poured water yet.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Oh wow.
Okay, are we gonna throw water on these?
Yeah. Are we good for water? All right. Who will be our water? Water or is it Apta? No, that one.
All right, I'm gonna pour water on this, guys.
All right. Remember to start your timer. Try to guess. I mean, this is an exercise. That's just for fun. Super casual. Try to guess which ones are washed versus natural. You're going to. Who wants to describe how a washed might smell versus a natural? Schlossgovers.
Put me on the spot while I pour water.
Yeah.
Well, for me, naturals tend to have more punchy fruit compared to the washed. The washed sometimes are quieter, although there are exceptions too. I mean, there are like some super crazy wash, and whether it's just like more processed forward and still wash, or if it's like a natural where that held and cherry attributes are really at the forefront. Like that's kind of what separates it for me.
Okay. I like that. Tinker Jeff. Nice to meet you. How might you experience wash coffees differently from naturals? If Tinker Jeff cannot speak right now, then oh, we're ready to pour? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
There are also exceptions, you know. Stuff can be very washed but is still a natural, and stuff can be very washed and very natural behaving. So
Yeah, for sure. That's why it's like the more experience you have tasting different coffees, the more reference points you have, like a framework, your inner framework by which you can process different coffees as you experience them. But then the moments that I truly enjoy are when my expectations are sort of challenged or broken. Yeah, that's what's so beautiful about coffee.
yeah, as soon as you think you know coffee, it's gonna hit you with something, and you're like, "Oh, what? No." That's the best.
100%.
Dude, I think we lost your camera because you tabbed out or something. But if you just like disable and renable it.
Wait, really? Okay. All right, do you see me now?
That's better.
Okay, perfect.
Discord things.
Yeah.
Yeah, amen to that.
We were like perfect with the water. All right, so it's 1 minute and 30 seconds in for us, so let's start assessing the aroma team. So I was going to dial in from home, and then I thought, oh, like these coffees are so nice and tasty, and I want it to be more fun. So last minute, I invited some of you on Discord and friends. I think I like this more because it's more social.
Coffee's always better with friends.
Yes. Always.
And it is helpful to be calibrated as well. Like It's not, when you're alone, like, oh yeah, they taste like, I don't know, watermelon, and then like, you don't know if it's actually tastes like watermelon. So like if you have other people are like saying, oh yeah, or no, it tastes like, I don't know, completely up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I also find it super fun when like you and another person can have completely different stories about the coffee, but if you taste it at the same time in the same room, you can kind of see how your experience of it could lead to that very different story of things. Like you're interpreting reality from very different perspectives and experiences, but like it can still make sense even though your stories don't necessarily align.
Do you have an example of something like that?
Yeah, so like there was a session that I had with a couple of folks, and like some people said, oh, the acidity is too bright for me, I don't like this, and then another person said, no, it's great, and then but like we talked about how, oh, you know what, I drink a lot of Jamaica, I drink a lot of acidic things, I eat a lot of acidic fruits, and it's a preference for me. And then like someone's like, no, I usually run away from acidity and I really look for sweetness. And so we're like, okay, so even though we have this different perception and story around what's in the cup, because we're tasting the cup and then we start to relate to like where we're coming from, then it's like, oh, it does make sense. Like this, I can see how what I'm tasting can lead to you having this story around the coffee.
Yes. You put that really nicely. I think that's why the Specialty Coffee Association came up with the coffee value assessment framework to replace the older scoring framework, because what we perceive in the coffee, even if you and I agree that this tastes like Jamaica, I may love Jamaica and you may hate Jamaica, and that may lead us to give very different scores. So the new CVA framework allows for descriptive assessment to be completely separated from affective assessment.
Yeah, I love that everyone can group together, and then like you can either dial up or dial down what a 3 means in terms of acidity, but you can also keep your experiences and preferences like separate from that. So like you can love whatever you want to love, but like can you dial in with the room and be like, okay, yes, these aspects we can agree on.
Yep. Yeah.
Oops, forgot to break.
Oh, you forgot to break.
You distracted me, June. My day is ruined.
Uh-oh. Look here for a sec. People. Howie. Why?
You wouldn't get it.
Oh my god, it's 4 p.m. Did everyone here have breakfast?
I definitely didn't. I'm empty stomaching this.
Alright, so for us it's 6.5 minutes. So we'll be able to start tasting soon. Oh, this is so nice. I don't have to do anything.
So June, when are you gonna do a Bay Area coffee event?
Oh, you're in the Bay. What kind of event do you want me to have?
Whatever event you'd like to have, whether it's a cupping, brew session, or just like, hey, get to know what we do over here at Picolot and Bean. I think it'd be fun.
I prefer cupping to brewing.
Yeah, cupping's great. Like, bring whatever. Or if you wanna play, we could all have like a roaster session. It'll be fun.
Yeah. SF.
The greatest roasters are in SF, right? Ooh.
I think we can start tasting.
Yeah, I just did all my skimming.
Just one thing for this time, because we were a little short on the coffee from the first session, maybe we can aim to save a little more for when it's cold, because especially for these coffees, they're all geishas, and we want to be able to perceive the differences when they're cold. So maybe we should collectively mize a little bit.
That's home run. That's crazy talk.
Why?
All right.
Change it 3 and 6. No 6 and 3. You put in 6 instead of 3. Yeah, no. Wow, you blame the AI?
You know what I used to say, Jim? Computers do what we tell them to do, not what we want them to do.
I think these are gonna taste really good when they cool down. These are all I don't know if you guys can taste the money here. these are all expensive coffees. Wow.
Looking forward to those rankings for sure.
I mean, definitely. Well, I mean, you know, there is a quality difference, I would say, between this and the varietals, but the varietals are not that far behind. I would really say just like some of these coffees, because of the processing and it's like there's just a little bit, there's like so much more articulation in certain areas, and that's like what is interesting. Like how defined is the acidity? Where does it go? And I think what will be interesting is like when these really cool down to like basically room temperature, what still stands. I think that is something to look forward to. But yeah, these are like, this is our typical standard of coffee that we release, I would say. And we have this, for season 2, there's this really nice darkroom dry natural that is the first release. So if you like the darkroom dry here from Volta, this other one's gonna be interesting to taste. But yeah, let's let it all cool down. These are all super nice.
Stay cool sound of the EK.
All right, so it's minute 13. So if you think you have a good sense of how the coffees are at hot temperature, you can sort of relax, write down your notes, and then revisit maybe 5 minutes later. I like to not cup too many times of the same coffee because it gives me palate fatigue and it makes it harder for me to articulate things. So when I'm at competitions judging, I actually like restrain myself from cupping like too much.
Yeah, I'm already cooked.
Pretty
Today.
interesting. Funny though, because it's a different kind of fatigue than like a wine sampling, because that time you're just like, I'm too drunk to really taste anything. This one, my taste buds actually don't work anymore.
Also, it's like these coffees are all really loud. Like they're all incredibly memorable. I would say like the varietals, varietals interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening. And yes, there are like three out of those coffees are like very intense. These are all very intense in some sort of way. Either like in the florality or in the acidity or sweetness. And they're all, it's just like, yeah, this is like both good and bad, I would say. It's great that we have all of these coffees side by side, but like it is overwhelming with how crazy some of these coffees can get. Really hard to rank. Wow.
Yeah, you want to evaluate.
While I'm thinking of it, it would be nice in that like roundup at the end to be able to click into the coffee and be able to see my own tasting notes, because I don't think I was able to do that. And I forgot my tasting notes by the time we did that.
Can you say that one more time?
For the tasting note app, I don't know if I just didn't know how to do the functionality, but when we're doing the roundup, it would be nice to have kind of my own tasting notes there, because I forgot them all by the time we had gone through all the copies in the roundup.
Okay. Helpful feedback. We will implement this with our agents. Thank you.
I can't.
Guys, they just extended Fable 5 for another
Shut
week. So.
up! I'm not like.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
AI.
Funny. I'm using DeepSeek though. I can't afford Opus. It's like 30 minutes is $10 with Opus/Fable versus like I can do like 8 hours of vibe coding with DeepSeek right now, and the same and get $10.
The trick is get Fable to do the planning and to oversee either Sonnet or Opus as sub-agents.
Yeah, for sure.
And just make sure, like, if you define a workflow with like one sub-agent as a PM, one as a QA, one as a like execution thingy, and you make sure that Fable assigns heterogeneous like models to each of them when it executes, then you get like much better outcomes.
Yeah, it's funny because at work we just use Fable/Opus for everything. It's at home that I have to worry about the bill getting too high.
And the 5-hour limit like running out very quickly.
My scores are degrading as it gets colder. Yeah. Once I like more hot, less cold, and vice versa.
Did you guys hear that? We got a very interesting comment that the scores are inverting as the coffees are cooling. The favorites when hot are becoming the less favorites as it gets cold. So guys, this cupping social cupping tool, this is the first time that we're ever using it in a group setting. It's our soft launch event today. If you have any feedback or thoughts, anything at all, please DM me. Okay. History. Yep. Yes, please message me on Discord.
You're the one that saves this apart. Look, it's very. Just get some more.
Aren't you pouring to the side to agitate?
Yeah. And then they make bowls now that have.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, but.
All of these, you just put Jasmine. Wow. Incredible.
All this, I've seen Brian with them on that sport, but oh, because it's like exactly the same.
Same as cupping.
Probably tastes better too.
It's not emotions.
A lot of these coffees kind of taste the same.
are you getting washed? Are you getting, pardon me, Panama Geisha?
Yeah,
primarily.
Stone fruit, jasmine, honey, citrus.
Don't forget the honey.
There are a few that really, really stand out. It might just be because of the order of coffees that I have. Like I feel like I have like 4 naturals. Actually, all of these are a lot of these are naturals, but I have like a lot of the naturals next to each other that are all like the same style. Like they're all stone fruit or citrus in some sort of way. But there are definitely it is really fun to be able to taste like Jansen next to in Alita next to Altieri. They're all similar but different, you know?
Same but different.
Yeah, same but different. But I am tasting like I think 2 or 3 of these coffees where I'm like I definitely think they taste way better brewed than cupped. At least having tasted some of these, where it's like yeah, it tastes fine cupped, but I think brewed it's on another level. I need to eat something after this? Yeah, same.
Okay, I mean our cups are approaching gold. Like Brian said, a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences, and you really can taste that these are geisha coffees compared to our previous cupping table of varietals. I think I'm done entering my notes. Now I just have to rank them.
Some of these like anaerobics, they're so similar, or like it's like really, I'm like, it's difficult to nitpick or to be like this one is that much better than the other. They're both so good. I think that's what's really incredible about these coffees. But we do have the first coffee. It's like of this caliber. The first coffee for season 2 members is definitely in this tier of coffee. So that's a very exciting release for people, and then we're figuring out all the other coffees to release. But yeah, wow, it's awesome to be able to taste some of these coffees again. And I still feel like some of these could have benefited for a little bit more rest, or they really are stabilizing.
Yeah, I think like some of them I definitely taste more rust would do justice to the coffee. Like others are tasting like really good right now, but some of them I'm like, a few more weeks of rust would be good for this coffee. All right, so how are we doing on rankings and score submission? All good? Anyone need more time?
I need like another minute.
Okay, one more minute and then we'll debrief.
I think even more rest.
Yeah, some of them.
All right. Think close enough.
Another reason I wanted to do varietals and geisha like side by side is because then you're able to perceive the differences between different varietals. But I hope it's fresh in your palate memory.
We're just gonna wait until we're done ranking these and then try the tops against each other, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like curious if your top two in varietals, how those compare to the top two, your top twos in this table.
Definitely, man. Yeah, 20. Yeah.
And I think it's hard to say like what 5 out of 9 is or 4 out of 9 is, but for the purposes of really forcing myself to place them in ranking, for this round I was harsher and I made my range wider. Yeah, because in Cup of Excellence and Best of Panama, the worst thing you can do as a judge is to give every coffee an 89 or every coffee a 90. Because that means you actually are not differentiating across all of them. So like during calibration, what happens is you're really like forced to give some of the coffees lower and then like really rewarding the ones that you like. So like exaggerating those differences. Okay, are we all ready now? Simba, did you submit your scores?
All right. I have submitted. I'm ready. Give or take. Close enough.
Okay. Do you want to come over here? Okay.
What is the worst geisha?
What is the worst geisha?
Yes, I told you.
The worst geisha is Picolot number 2, Hacienda Barbara Geisha Honey.
Wow, I'm calibrated with Ji-Yoon Han.
Okay, so question for you guys: what's the most helpful way for us to run the second session? Do you want me to talk about my experience? Do we want it to be like amongst you guys?
Let's hear the person with the highest score and the person with the lowest score talk about the coffee.
I like that.
Okay.
Brian,
Yeah, I love that idea. Yeah.
So
Brian, what did you not like about this coffee?
yeah, so I just think like there's a lot of like spice, earthiness, like I think this is another classic example of like I felt like this coffee brewed pretty well. It was okay. Like it definitely wasn't as loud as like some of the other coffees we featured at the very beginning of this. Like this is release number 2, but it's just more like jasmine. Like there really isn't much depth to a lot of the thing to a lot of this. I also felt like a lot of the like the attributes I didn't like, which were like spice and some of the, like weird earthiness, it's really coming up as the coffee cooled. There is like some nice stone fruit in it, some nice like sweetness and florals and some jasmine, but they're really not very well tied together. This isn't like a very high definition presentation, I would say. It's just like okay, which is, yeah, I didn't really like this as much.
As much. Okay, Howie, you gave it a high score. What did you like about this coffee? Okay, great. So, yeah.
When someone in the room talks, can you bring the phone closer to them? Because we didn't really get to that.
Yes.
Yeah, what did Howie say?
Howie,
I like the florality it presented, which I'm finding I like more and more in coffee these days. Yes, I'm becoming a washed, boring boy.
So this coffee is a honey process. It's somewhere between washed and natural. It's a more nuanced coffee. It's more subtle. I think that this coffee actually would do much better with, I don't know, 2-3 more weeks of rest. I think it hasn't really opened up as much yet. But
when was it roasted?
oh, same date, May 21st. So it's had 7 weeks of rest. But yes. Next.
Next.
All right. Yeah. So anyone on the stream, this is what we were doing. We had like an app.
Hi, your camera disappeared.
Yeah, it'll come back up. Oh, I need to turn.
Are you like cooking? Oh.
Jade was lowest, Cole was higher.
Okay, Jade. You gave this a 6 out of 9. What did you not like about this coffee?
It just didn't give me very much. Felt like, it's all comparative. It's compared to everything else.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just compared to everything else on the table, it just didn't give me very much other than the typical floral notes, and there's less complexity for me, at least. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't really get anything other than those floral notes, but there's no clear acidity, there's no clear sweetness, so it's kind of a very flat coffee for me.
But still, for this coffee, the gap is not so huge. It's not like 4 versus 9. It's more like 7, 8-ish across the board. Cool. What did you like about this coffee?
I think some of that palate fatigue came in, but I did my rankings like before they were cold. So while it was still warm, I like this one for the juiciness. Compared to especially like number 18 and 23. And then I didn't like it as much as 27. I think that as they cooled, it got less interesting.
Yeah, okay. So my experience of this coffee, this one, Chombi from Altieri Farm, like you say, it's a very juicy coffee. It's a very fruity coffee. You get lots of berries. I would say on the red, purple side, and less like orange or yellow or pink. Yeah, it's more fruity than floral, and I would say compared to some of the other ones, my experience of it is not as complex, but very, very sweet and more on the balance side. Yeah, good coffee. But your second least favorite geisha. Okay. Next one. All right. Lowest is Donna.
Alright.
Well, what did you taste in this coffee?
I wish I could see my notes. I think the
Okay,
there were like a couple that I ranked lower that I think were just again like flat or not as complex as some of the ones that I liked more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, and then highest was
Exactly what I like. This one was, I think, I wound up ranking this one for, so very middle of the pack for me. Yeah, I don't know.
middle of the pack. Okay, so this is a very I love this process. In Panama a couple years ago, a lot of producers started wrapping their coffee cherries in grain pro bags and hooking it onto, like tying it on a tree trunk and then letting the river or waterfall wash it away. So what it does is like control the pH level and create a very cooling, naturalizing climate for the coffee. And so I have a fond appreciation of this particular lot. It's from a pretty high elevation farm in the Altieri family. And this one, let's see, which one was it?
This is
I'm gonna taste it one more time.
Alessa.
Yes.
I just felt like this coffee, like, this just tasted like a better version of Chambi, or they both taste like Altieri Naturals to me. Just like this had a little bit more definition, a little bit more complexity. Slight, maybe ever so slightly cleaner, but very similar profile of like citrus, florals, very Altieri tasting, if that makes sense.
I completely agree. I think the Alessa lot is better than the Chambi, because of the river flow, probably. It's more complex. It has slight floral notes that you couldn't perceive that I couldn't perceive in the Chambi. And you get more.
Number 3 is a lot better.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Can.
Damn.
Highest was Jiu, lowest was Landon.
This is the Jansen 1010 lot. I can go first. Or would you like to go? You can go first.
I thought this one was just a little less interesting than some of the others. I got no specific acidity, no specific like spice. This one felt, yeah, just a little less interesting than the others to me.
Okay, so this coffee, actually one of our baristas competed with this coffee in the U.S. Brewers competition. To me, it's like a beautiful natural coffee. It's balanced. It's structured. It has florals, but also like lots of different types of fruits. It's not like a singular like one fruit. It's many different types of fruits, like stone fruit, like fresh fruit, but also dried fruit, berries, but also like melon, and I really appreciate this coffee. Yeah, you get like so many different colors.
I'm just tasting a lot more anaerobic right now. Like, now that in immersion, I think this is like way better brewed for me. Like on
Brewing,
coffee, I'm just
phenomenal.
chasing the Jansen anaerobic stuff, and I am not the biggest fan of this particular presentation of anaerobic.
So this coffee was actually a very it's a famous lot. So a few competitors in Europe also use this lot. So this is like a great representation of competition lot.
Yeah, for me, like I think the draw to it is more the journey, because on hot, it is kind of like, what's going on here. I can't really make a distinction of it, but like as it gets towards cold for me, the fruit really kind of transforms. Last time I cupped it, like I got hit with orange jello, but today it was much more lychee. So like to me, that speaks to there is a lot that's going on in it, and it depends on how you present it that you can find different things in it.
Yeah, I agree on the one.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Top 3.
Top 3. All right. Is our first ever 00 Elita State ASD. Highest.
This is pretty tight grouping.
Yeah. Brian, Donna, what did you like about it?
It's like tons of berries. You definitely, it's like elevated anaerobic. Like to me, when this is really cooled down, especially if you taste this next to the Jansen, there isn't that. I would classify like more phenol anaerobic flavor. Like there's none of that in here. You can clearly tell that it's like super candy like. There are a lot of florals. The structure of acidity is still there. It's very intense. And usually when coffees get to this cool, you can taste some sort of separation, but everything is still like incredibly harmonious together. It's very easy to drink, very perceivable, and the processing is actually quite clean. It is very, very well tied together. I really, really enjoyed this coffee. I think this is like a really great example of like higher levels of quote unquote advanced processing that you'll see nowadays, but really well done.
Great. All right, next.
Blue butterfly.
Wow. Our second favorite is the Kotoa Natural Geisha. Wow, what did I hate about this coffee? Let me taste it again.
I've been drinking a lot of this coffee. It's the blue. I love the blue.
This coffee's so good. It's so good. This is my favorite natural of this year so far. Of any of our last releases, I think this is incredible. It's also more deep cut, as in like we really don't see Kotoa out in the wild that much. So to come across a coffee like this is just super fun. I think this really reminds me of like the Gesha candy, the one from before, but everything is a lot more crisp, a lot crispier, way cleaner. It's just super nice. But yeah, tons of just like so many berries, so many things are happening at once. And this is just a normal natural, I believe.
A normal natural.
Yeah.
Landon, what did you like about this?
I got a lot of fruit from this one as well. Maybe even some hints of cinnamon. This one tasted very juicy, like very intense, very fragrant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this lot a lot, and we named it Blue Butterfly because it's like very, very blue. You got lots of blue fruits. Today I got more like yellow and orange. Yeah.
Same for you today?
Today it doesn't have the complexity that I would expect from this cup.
I'd agree with that. Like for me, it's kind of singular on the fruits as well as that purple floral. Like, two very consistent notes that hold through the coffee, but they don't really move in the way that nicer coffees move through the journey.
Okay, so last but not least, our collective favorite.
Turns out washed coffee is good.
Coffee is good. Volta.
It tastes
DRD.
expensive.
Yes, it tastes expensive. That is a great. That is I 100% agree with that. It tastes expensive. Very well put together, very complex, super clean. The aromatics on these DRD coffees are incredible. You really wouldn't expect this level of aromatics and flavor expression to be from like a wash coffee, but that's really where like the darkroom dry comes in. Volta also, really nice. It's just like it's like everything that a lot of wash Panama coffee enjoyers like, but amplified and really well done and very clean. So this is like intense, expressive, complex wash coffee, very detailed, high definition. It's awesome. I love this coffee. This is my favorite also.
Yeah, it's that citrus, stone fruit, floral storyline that everyone knows is Panama Gesha. Like it's just that.
Yes. Yeah. Just yeah, and I mean now like it's cold now and it's still so put together.
Yeah, it's just it's also there's a really lovely level of intensity. I think what's interesting is like I don't know if how many people have tasted our Agua Catillo, but like I would say like our Agua Catillo 2100 just wash is like a very sterile presentation of like Panama Gesha. This is more of like a colorful presentation of Panama Gesha. Like they're very different presentations, but this is super easy to drink. You don't really need to think. You don't need to think about it. This is not really like you can think about it. You can really try to pick apart like okay, what is actually happening? But it's like it's very in your face.
I think this coffee you can bring to even like non-enthusiasts and they'll be like, yeah, this tastes expensive. It tastes like money.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not even showing that well this time compared to the last time. Like last time, it was like this huge gap between this coffee and everything else. Today, it's closer, but still, like, there's just almost no question that it's different.
Yeah. So I would say that for sure the Hacienda Barbara, just as a reference, in case it's helpful, the Hacienda Barbara, I would separate from the rest of the table. The rest of the table are good representations of Panama Gesha, like a lot of naturals, right? The Hacienda Barbara, we wanted to introduce this farm because it's less known, but it's managed by the same person that owns Black Moon Farm. So if you remember, it was Kilua and Gone, Hunter x Hunter release. So we wanted you to experience what is Hunter doing with his coffees in the Black Moon Churroso varietal, and then through the Hacienda Barbara honey processed geisha. And as Schlagober said, the Vuelta, I would say, is remarkably, like it is the definition of like what you would expect from a Panama Geisha coffee. Yeah. So from this cupping, you got to experience Volcan, which is where Jansen Family Farm is, the 1010, the beautiful 1010, one of my top fives from this year. And then we moved over to Boquete, where Hacienda Barbara, the honey process, is from. And then the Altieri Alessa River Flow and the Chombi Natural. Then we went to the Alita Volta Dark Room Dry wash coffee, which all of us really, really enjoyed. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice sets, June.
Thank you. Any other questions or final words? Like, how would you sum up last cupping versus this one? Like your differences in experience. Remember your number one varietal from the first cupping table? Compare that to your favorite here.
What's number one?
It was
I
the
can't
air
remember.
people.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
usually, like,
Simba says, yeah, that was worse.
I mean, it's more of like the extension of flavor and depth is a lot more in a lot of these. I guess you could also classify that as complexity. There's more stuff happening in the back, like things last for a little bit longer. There's more detail, um, and obviously those coffees are much more expensive. But that's like kind of the gist where it's like, um, yeah, like there's just more happening, more detail, more definition, vibrancy. I think that's like there's also a lot more intensity in like certain areas, and especially even aromatics, where it's like not only one note of aromatics, where it's like, oh, it's not only just like natural process or anaerobic process. There's a bit more happening here where there's like, okay, florals, then there's fruit, then there's some additional component there. So there's just more detail in general, and that's what happens with more expensive coffees. You can really, if you think about like Volta, the Volta versus like the cold room, the heirloom, it's like, yeah, there's a huge gap between those two, but also there's a big price point difference between those two coffees. But yeah, you do hit diminishing returns after a certain point with coffee.
We have our first launch coffee for season 2 members is a beautiful dark room dry coffee from Alita. It's a Torre lot and better than this. So I'm very, very excited for you. We just did a first roast dialing last week, and yeah, we'll be shipping it out very soon.
All right.
And just to recap what we got today, we went from varietals. We tasted Laudina, Bacamara, SL34, Mocha, and now we did 7 different geishas. The different processing methods that we tasted were classic natural, dark room dry, so the coffee does not see light. Producers believe that any amount of light contacting coffee can alter how the final cup tastes. So yeah, it's like really just removing any light contact on the coffee while processing is happening. We tasted cold room fermentation for the heirloom, honey processing for the Barbara, and then yeah, so across different varietals, different processing methods, and different terroir across Panama, you really got to see a big, wide range of coffees. And I hope this was educational for you. I'm curious, last, like, rapid fire, each person that is on, I'd love to hear what your biggest takeaway is from today. We can start with Cole.
I was worried that like maybe I wouldn't be able to see some of the definition of these coffees, but if you cup them, it's really easy to taste the differences. But that's I think the main thing for me is just coffee can taste like a broad range of things, of course, but even I can taste those things.
And it was your first time cupping today, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's remarkable. Yeah. And you got to taste 14 different coffees. Yeah, it's incredible. Now, Schlaskovers, what is your biggest takeaway from today?
So for me, it's about how well the coffees communicate. Like, we have a certain bias towards like we have values in terms of what we look for in coffee, what we like in coffee, and then we tend to spam those things and keep looking for higher and higher heights on them. But there are plenty of coffees on these tables that are very not familiar. Like, how many reps do you actually get in onto these different varieties, right? And so it's like they're speaking a foreign language to us versus like a classic Panama geisha is like in our language, we're talking about the same thing. You're hitting those heights and you have a lot of reference points to like what is good for that thing, right? But as we get more familiar and exposed to these other expressions, like who knows what that could look like in terms of, the future of coffee and what is interesting. Like, it even if you think about it, like the idea of a classic Panama geisha, how old is that? Like from what? The early 90s at best, like this is all very recent stuff. It's not like there's been this idea of classic Panama geisha since like the dawn of coffee. Everything changes, and it's kind of up to all of us to shape what we put effort into for coffees.
Yeah. There is more to Panama geisha or Panama coffee than what people may associate with classic Panama geisha. Yeah. Donna, what was your biggest takeaway?
I love trying these, and I think trying one like all geishas, I think has helped me identify my own coffee vocab for like groups of flavors and notes that I need my personal notes for.
Such as?
I don't know, like florals. Like I think I was now able to like distinguish like specific kinds of florals that I
Like what?
I said spring florals versus like juicy. I need better words. Is basically the takeaway. But I could really like taste and distinguish more.
Yeah.
Having done this round.
Yeah, I mean, there's like jasmine florals, there's hibiscus florals, there's chamomile florals, eucalyptus florals, lemongrass. So yeah. Jay, you're not free from this. What is your biggest takeaway from today's cupping?
Takeaway? That, brewing with the right techniques will bring out a lot more from these coffees. Because like the Kotoa, I literally just posted like yesterday. I got a lot more blue purple notes than what we had cup today. So it's very, very nice.
Yeah. And Jade has tasted most of our releases, and he was saying, wow, these taste really different when cupping. All right, Simba, what was your biggest takeaway?
I like this grinder for cupping.
You want to talk about the grinder?
It's just an M90AD, but with the new burrs that Dennis is working on, and it's like very, very like clarity focused. So they obviously didn't taste brewed in that a lot of definition was missing, but it tasted very clean, like very clarity forward in the presentation. So it's nice, yeah.
And it's like it's holding the coffees up to a higher standard because it's like you're holding a giant magnifying glass, but and then you got to see all these little details. So it was a beautiful session. Nuclear Pengy, what was your biggest takeaway?
I wish I had something profound to say. It's just always good doing comparative cuppings.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think this is good for now. I'm excited for season 2, and you'll be wowed by the copies that we release. Anything else, Brian?
No, I think that's it. I mean, like I feel like this was a really good representation of a lot of the work we're doing and a lot of the coffees that we're trying to put out. Like on both ends, like you can have like very expressive quote unquote cheap coffee all the way up to crazy stuff like the Vuelta. And they're all like very memorable in their own way, and that's like what we're aiming to release. But this is like super fun. And I think I really appreciate everyone who has supported us so far, picked up these coffees, and will continue to do so. It's just really fun to be able to do stuff like this. I'm hoping we can do more in-person events as our schedules free up, where we can host these things. But we do try to save some of our coffees from each of our releases so we can create these types of experiences. So I'm happy that there were a fair bit of you guys who actually picked this up. And you know, are obviously on a call with us to taste these, so it's fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being for dialing in on a Sunday.
Yeah.
You guys are all nerds. And as am I. Okay, shall we say bye?
Goodbye. Thanks for everyone for
Bye.
joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.